And unfortunately, that little voice inside our head is very strong and very effective at making us stop doing things that have become uncomfortable. What's up, guys? I hope you're well. I want to talk to you today about your inability to be consistent with things. So this might be that you keep trying to maintain that you go to the gym regularly and exercise, that you maintain your new healthy eating plan, that every day you spend a little bit of time working on your side hustle, your new business. And every time you do it, you go through this same cycle of being very excited about it, of starting it, of having no problem doing it for the first week, month, whatever it is. And then suddenly you just stop. And you're so aware of it and you know it's happening to you, but it just happens. You just stop. And then a few weeks, a few months later, you go through this cycle all over again. And as most of us are, we're aware that we're not going to get anywhere with anything with that cycle. Because you're never warming up the clay to be able to make the pot. You're never getting things going enough to be able to manipulate it to get where you want to get to with it. So first of all, we need to identify the reason why we're stopping. What is it that's happening to us that we're doing all the right stuff and then we stop? It's twofold. One is we have unrealistic expectations of results. And this isn't all necessarily our fault. A lot of the information out there for all of these things promises quick fixes and promises dramatic change. And a lot of it is unrealistic. And if you take that example of going to the gym because you want to change the appearance of your body, you want it to be more muscular, you want to have less fat. And people promise you abs in 30 days or bigger arms in 2 weeks or in one workout. They make all of these claims to sell their products and to gain your attention. But the reality of it is it's not how these things work. These things are extremely incremental and extremely slow. So when you do something for a few weeks, you make the necessary sacrifices. So especially when you start something new, it's a sacrifice. Because you have to change something. Maybe you're not watching TV so that you can go to the gym. It requires effort. And if you're putting in the effort for an extended period of time and seeing no results, no tangible results, then you very quickly are introduced with the second part of the problem, which is self-doubt. The voice appears in your head that basically tells you, why are you even bothering? Why are you even trying? Because this isn't working and you're not going to have any success. And unfortunately, that little voice inside our head is very strong and very effective at making us stop doing things that have become uncomfortable. You see, our minds are always trying to move us away from areas of discomfort. Even though discomfort is where most of our growth and development happens, our brain is in survival mode. It's our primal instinct to move away from things that make us uncomfortable and that feel unnecessary. Your brain will convince you don't need to go to the gym because A, nothing's happening, not that you can see, not to your expectations of what should happen. And B, we have better things to do. Let's just sit here and be comfortable and relax. And unfortunately, that voice can take hold and it can convince you. And then a few weeks later, after not doing it for a while, your logical brain kicks back in and your dreams and your desires and your wishes reemerge. And then you fight through this cycle again. So then we have to ask, well, what's the secret of breaking that cycle? How do we get it that when that self-doubt inevitably creeps in, that we don't allow it to derail us? And unfortunately, as with most things, the answer is simple, but it's very difficult to put into practice and it requires repetition. And it's do the thing anyway. Self-doubt will be there and you have to acknowledge it and understand it and you have to do it anyway. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, do the thing and you will have the power. And the whole idea here, the whole concept is that we must do that which makes us uncomfortable in order to gain tangible control over it. Our mind will try to convince us to stop, but it will not do that forever. Our mind basically will learn and will understand, given enough time, that this is happening with or without you. And your brain, the way it is, because it's part of you, will eventually get on board with what you're doing. It will come to the understanding that this is not something that's optional. This is not something that has a plan B. You've burnt the boats, you've burnt the bridges, and this is what is happening. And you will lose that voice of self-doubt, or it will at the very least, be quietened down to a point where you can power through to the point of seeing tangible results. Which, like I said, takes a lot longer than what people think in almost everything that you do. It's a great bit of advice that anything you want to achieve is probably going to take twice as much time, twice as much money, and twice as much effort as you could ever imagine it would take. And that's a really useful thing to take away from you, because it's not to discourage you and it's not to stop you doing things, but it's to help you understand that when you think you've given all that you could give and nothing is happening, it's actually because you need to give some more. It might not mean that you have to give more that day, but you need to give more days. You need to put in more investment. You need to give more of your energy. Yes, things might need to be changed. Things might need to be adapted. You might need to learn more, but you need to do that whilst doing whatever it is that your mind is creating self-doubt upon. So please just understand that self-doubt is normal, and failing to do something again and again and again happens to all of us. But you must just continue to persevere, continue to try, continue to get back up and go again. And over time, you will gradually see that you can crush self-doubt and you can start achieving all the things that you desire for yourself, your friends, your family, and loved ones. And as always, take care of yourself.